So today's topic is what are the leading causes of suicide? Vyaas, do you have thoughts on that subject?
Sure. Yeah, I guess this sort of the overarching reason would be this this feeling that you cannot stop, the pain that you feel that feels like it's going to last forever, the pain that feels like only you can feel and you're the only one who's feeling it, and a pain that other people can never understand. So these are three things that combine together, and they could be from various reasons, like your academics or personal life, social life, abuse, heartbreak, betrayal, things you faced. Or sometimes you've had a perfectly normal life, but you still have these thoughts, and sometimes there is no reason for it. So when you talk about these feelings that you have, so these feelings festering over a period of time lead to thoughts and eventually the act. So I think that's what I think about. Those are my thoughts on this question.
So there's a lot of different causes that lead to suicide, and so we can just talk about a few of them. But in general, what Vyaas said was correct. It's a lot of pain that someone's experiencing. It's just a loss of hope, right, that someone might have. So what are reasons that people might feel like it is not worth living on? They don't, it's, sometimes what I've heard is that people, more than wanting to kill themselves, they just don't want their life to go on the way it is. They don't like their life as it is, and they want their life to end. They don't necessarily want to die, but they see that suicide is like the one possibly guaranteed way that their life will not continue the way it is. They don't want to deal with that pain. So the causes can be different in a lot of different areas. For a lot of youth, it can be, moving places, losing friends, family divorce, those kind of mental health challenges. And one that I hear about too often is suicide related to exam stress, performance on exams, not feeling like you cannot have a good or successful life going forward leads people to give into a lot of pressure that they're experiencing from society based on exam grades. For people who are elderly, it's domestic issues, or, it can be a comorbidity of some other mental illnesses, right? Suicide is not inherently associated with mental illnesses, but there are associations with having mental illnesses. So suicide can be caused due to a lot of, it can be caused due to correlation with mental illness. People who are experiencing depression, for example, might have a lot of intrusive thoughts, a lot of guilt and shame that they're experiencing that might lead them to suicide. So there's a lot of different causes for suicide. Sometimes it's thought out over time. Otherwise, it's impulsive and it's an immediate act. So there's a lot of different reasons why people might be pushed to suicide, but it's important to know that it's a result of their circumstances and not necessarily personal weakness and inability to handle situations that's leading them to consider suicide. It is a lack of hope, and as people responding to it, you can offer that hope for them.
Okay, that's a great answer, Ilakkiya. The common thread I see in both of your answers is that people who commit suicide sense a loss of meaning and purpose. They feel that they can never get back to their core values in life, the things that they cannot compromise on, or feel that they cannot compromise on. And when they have a loss of hope to ever get there, that's when suicide starts feeling like a real possibility for them, because then the pain of that loss is too much for them to bear, and they think that killing themselves might end that pain. I've seen this happen in the case of someone who lost their spouse, an elderly person who lost their spouse and lost the will to live. And within a few years, he also wasted himself to death. And as unfortunate as that is, complicated grief can often be a cause of suicide, but obviously that's not the only way that people lose meaning in their lives. For students, young people, exams, like you said, could be a very good reason why they lose hope that they can make it, which speaks a lot about our education system and how much pressure it puts. Maybe that's something we need to think about. But suicide rates among students are very high. For children between the ages of 15 and, well, not children, but people between the ages of 15 and 24, the suicides are one of the highest rates, one of the most common causes of death in that age group in most countries. In India, I think traffic accidents could be first and suicide could be second. Besides that, suicide is something that can happen at any age. A lot of people commit suicide due to domestic strife. It's very common among housewives in India. Financial troubles could lead to suicide. So I can think of several causes that might lead to suicide. What might be perhaps helpful to them is to think about what would happen to the people that they care about once they have committed suicide. And maybe that thought is enough for a lot of people to stop themselves from doing the act. A lot of the time, police officers say that they've tried to stop someone from committing suicide, and then weeks or months later, the people that they did stop come back and thank them, saying that they needed someone to snap them out of that mood in that moment, and that was what made it possible for them to live. So even last minute interventions can be helpful in that sense, no matter what the cause is. So maybe tomorrow we'll see how the survivors of the suicide, the people who've been bereaved, deal with suicide. Until then, see you.
Oh, you're still here? Well, thanks for getting to the end of the video. Hey, while you're still here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get new updates when we post videos. Also, make sure to check out these equally exciting videos as well. Have you pressed it yet? Come on, you have 5 seconds left. 3, 2, press it now.